This is our inaugural class where we're going to be looking at how to apply all of the yogic sciences towards sleep. And prior to me discovering Kundalini in my professional life, which I still do outside of here, I spend most of my time analyzing health data. So in my professional life, we're analyzing millions upon millions of health data points. And what I've been working on for many years was very precisely analyzing what things help to improve sleep and which ones don't. And using very objective data to validate which things work and which things don't. And I've been working on this for years and trying different types of, let's call them protocols before bed, and see which ones can not just help me fall asleep and stay asleep, but there's actually a lot that you can do that will take sleep from good to great. And so even though you may be consciously thinking that you're getting enough sleep, you're getting deep sleep, once you start really objectively measuring things, and that would be things like, how low does your resting heart rate go at night? And can you measure that? And actually, the lower your resting heart rate goes at night, it's a better indication that your body is recovered. And you can look at things like, what is your actual core temperature while you're sleeping? And that can give you an indication to how deep you're sleeping. There's a lot of sensors you can wear now that detect limb movement when you're sleeping. And so even tossing and turning, you may not even be awake and realize how much you're tossing and turning. But if you can try different things, and one night you see that you've been able to eliminate 95% of that tossing and turning, you start to learn how to really precisely calibrate sleep. And that's the difference from waking up with jet fuel in your veins, ready to crush whatever the day puts in front of you, and waking up feeling like so-so or sluggish. The other part of it is just people who have trouble sleeping in general. And for me, when I think about preparing for sleep and the way we've engineered this whole class, is really to think about your body's own central nervous system. And the central nervous system, particularly the amount of stress that's in the central nervous system. And there's a lot of things you can do leading up to going to sleep that will significantly bring down the level of stress in the central nervous system. And that's the difference between falling asleep and staying asleep and sleeping very deeply. So then when I started learning Kundalini, I started discovering in a lot of the training that there's very specific breath work we can do that is really conducive to sleep. And there's a lot of gentle stretching we can do. And there's yoga nidra that we can do. So then I started saying, well, how can we start to put the ancient sciences together with the modern sciences and try to bring all of this stuff together? So this is the first night. Mandeep and I will be teaching this together. The program that we're going to run every Tuesday is going to start with some basic warm-ups. These are warm-ups really to just start to loosen up the spine and stimulate different parts of the chakra system. So there's a specific set of warm-ups that we'll be doing. Everything we talk about and cover on Tuesday nights will be provided in this guide that we've been working on. So all the best practices, all the breath work, all the yoga nidra, everything you experience here in class, you'll be able to take this home and actually practice it on your own. And every Tuesday, we're going to go through pretty much the same recipe. So you can come in here and really have a predictable experience and start to practice these techniques repeatedly, and then start to decide which ones you want to integrate in your day. So we're going to start with basic movement, and then we're going to do a few different styles of breathing that are optimized for sleep. And they'll be mostly the same every week, maybe one or two slight differences. And these are simple practices you can do on your own at home before bed, but we'll practice them here. And then Mandeep is going to lead Yoga Nidra, which is yogic sleep. And she's going to talk about that in a second, and she'll be taking you through that. Also in this guide are a lot of the things you can do on your own that can, in the 1 to 2 hours before you get to bed. You know, the nights where your sleep is optimal. You've really started to prepare 1 to 2 hours in advance. And there's a lot of things you can do, again, to take the sleep from good to great. If you have trouble sleeping in general, these can help you get into a deep sleep faster. If you're a good sleeper and you want to go to great, these things can supercharge your sleep. So some of the things that we talk about in here that you can look into on your own. One of the most effective things for me preparing for bed is water. You know, water in general is an amazing therapy. Most people don't think of water as a healing modality, but water actually can be extremely soothing and therapeutic before bed. So for example, it could be just a long hot shower and end on cold. You know, the change in core body temperature is kind of what signals the body to go to bed. We also talk a lot in here about the lighting in your house and how to start taking the lighting down as soon as the sun goes down. We have receptors in our eyes that take in information based on light that basically tell us what time it is. And so simple things like starting to use softer lights as the sun goes down, starting to switch to candles or lights towards the red side of the spectrum. So what you really want to do in your home is just start modifying the environment in your home to start relaxing the nervous system. So that would be things like incense, candles, soft lighting, soft music, cold room, dark room. And we also talk about different ways that if you want, you can start to measure your sleep. And this lets you start to do your own experimentation. So you can try different rituals or protocols before bed and really figure out which ones work best for you. It's actually really exciting when you actually get some data the next morning to show you that, wow, that actually made my numbers significantly better. And it's really not that complicated to start self-calibrating sleep. But the one thing I want to just close with is the biggest thing to think about is preparing for sleep is starting to wind down the nervous system, starting to slow down our heart rate, starting to slow down our breath rate, starting to dim down lighting, starting to do things that make us feel relaxed. And one of the best things you can do to control all of those physiological parameters is breath. And physiology follows breath. So as soon as you start meditating, your breath rate starts to go down. When we're just kind of walking around, going about day-to-day life, we may be breathing 15 to 20 times per minute. When we're sleeping, depending on our level of cardiovascular fitness, maybe we're breathing, 12 to 15 times per minute. When we're meditating, we may be breathing 3 times per minute. You know, there's actually yogi meditations where you breathe 1 60-second repetition, 1 breath per minute. So as the breath slows, all the other physiological processes slow. Like anytime your heart is racing because you're nervous, if you close your eyes and take 5 long, slow breaths, your heart rate is down. Boom. You know, in a minute, you can control a rapid heart rate just through breath. So we'll be covering all of this stuff. We'll be practicing all of this stuff. We'll talk about some of the things that commonly disrupt sleep. Unfortunately, all the good stuff in life kind of fucks with sleep, which is like alcohol, cannabis, and actually late meals is also like one of the things. You do not want any food in your body when you're going to bed. All the resources of your body when you're sleeping are devoted to repair cycles. And if your body has to digest food when you're sleeping, it has to rev up heart rate and get this digestive system going. So even just being mindful of like simple things you can do. Like for me, I get the best sleep when I've completely finished eating by at the latest 6 p.m. Finished, done, even earlier than that. Obviously, you can't do these things every single night. It's just not possible with daily life. But you know, okay, I've been a little run down lately. I need to crush the sleep tonight. Those are the nights where you want to align your meal timing, you know, lay off all the extracurriculars, really focus on everything, get that supercharged sleep. Okay, now I'm good for a few more days. So it really becomes something that you can master. And we'll be working on a lot of stuff today. So that's kind of what we'll be focusing on. And Mandeep, maybe you can talk about the Yoga Nidra and the science behind that.
Sure. So you're going to get all of this through a PDF Google Doc. We're going to email it to you. And then we hope that you'll continue to keep coming back because this doc will continue to be updated. and we'll continue to give you more and more of an experience of what's in this doc. Because, we can give you all this information in writing, etc., and give you resources, but the true wisdom comes from the experience of it all. Yoga Nidra, the yoga of deep sleep. It's an interesting technique that is a beautiful technology that literally gives you the experience of having 6 to 8 hours of deep restful sleep in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. You can even do 15 minutes of Yoga Nidra and have astounding, regenerative effects. Because what it's doing is you're giving yourself the visualization. And as Dave mentioned, the body follows the mind, and then the mind follows the breath. So we're doing very specific breathing techniques to prepare for Yoga Nidra. And then we go into this whole guided script of tonight we're doing it with the rest. Let's see, what are we doing? The awareness of the heart? Yeah, the overflowing heart Yoga Nidra. It's a really beautiful, very loving meditation guide with this Yoga Nidra script. And I like to add the gong into all of this. As you can see, I like the gongs. I like the gongs because they're so powerful in that 30 seconds in good gong playing and really connecting deeply with the gong, which I'm very blessed to have that kind of a relationship with gongs. 30 seconds, your chakra energies and 10 body energies all becomes balanced and harmonized. 30 seconds. Now, that's not very long. In 90 seconds, your subconscious mind, which is the primary part or the primary function of the brain and the mind, particularly that we're working on with meditating and learning to master, 90 seconds, that's a minute and a half, your subconscious mind surrenders to the sound of the gong. So you become deeply relaxed. Your subconscious mind just kind of goes into this state of surrender. It's not monitoring. It's not driving the vehicle anymore. It's let go. And when that happens, you become deeply, deeply relaxed, and you're able to work into the different parts of the brain through the brainwave technique of being very slow, and you become very visionary. You become highly intuitive, and a lot of healing starts to unfold. So I love Yoga Nidra. I teach a lot of Yoga Nidra here, and when Onkar and I were talking about putting this class together, we both just were really, it's a no-brainer that we're going to have Yoga Nidra in this class. So one of the things too that I want to remind you of is that on our YouTube channel, which is free, we have recordings of me doing Yoga Nidra. So you have access to getting into going home. If you need to have another guided script to hear my voice, if you need that training a little bit for a while to get you into this prep of really getting ready and going into a very deep restful sleep, you have access to it, no problem. I think there's 2 recordings, full recordings of me doing a Yoga Nidra guided meditation, okay? And we have all that in this document that you'll have access to. So this is all about becoming fully self-sensorized. And we're in this Aquarian age where things are changing and evolving very, very rapidly. And luckily, so fortunately, we have all these very ancient, very powerful, used to be very secretive practices that have come forward to show us the way to evolve into this state of pure mindfulness and really evolving into this purely harmonized and very balanced being, highly evolved, highly intelligent, very sophisticated, and being able to manage all the bombardment of stimulation that we're constantly getting bombarded with. And it's not going away. If anything, it's getting more so. And dealing with environmental changes. We need techniques, we need spiritual disciplines to be able to manage all of that. So we don't have to be fanatical about it. As Dave mentioned, you can just take it easy and go about this maybe, 3 nights a week. Just try it, see how it works. If you're really gung-ho about it, then do it 7 nights a week. I have no problem with that. Seriously, I would love to hear your feedback, because the more that you do practice, the quicker you're going to have the experience with it. Right, Vaughn?
Yes.
There's all kinds of guided yoga nidra meditations that you can just, at any length of time that you could just pop on Spotify
It's
before
true.
bed, 15, 20 minutes. Just the same stuff we'll be doing here.
Right.
And it just kind of like knocks you out.
Yeah, but not very many with the gong.
No, gotta come here for that.
It's true. So do you want to get started?
Tune us in.
Okay. So we're going to start with tuning in. This is based on the practice of Kundalini yoga. Anyone brand new to Kundalini? Okay, good. So this is about energy, working with the Kundalini energy specifically, chakra energy, working with the mind is what we've been talking about, and really beautiful breath practices. So we do a lot of sound in this yoga, and the first one that we tune in with, and we create the sound of Ong Namo Gurudev Namo. So let's go. So rub the hands together, please. And thank you so much for coming and launching this with us. Closing the eyes, sit tall. Keep rubbing the hands, please. Notice your breath in and out of your nose. Just pay attention to which nostril seems more open. Most likely one will be more open than the other. Just notice that. Make a mental note. Keep rubbing. We're stimulating the brain, working with our energy, 5 elements. Tuning our attention inward. This is the first step towards meditation. It's called pratyahara. Good. Let's press firmly and evenly our hands. It's a gentle but firm pressure. And then bring the backs of the thumbs right into the center of your chest. Relaxing the shoulders. Feel the energy and the alignment of your spine. We focus very intently on the spine, as this is primarily where the core of the central nervous system is, that Omkar spoke about. It's our main focus. So we breathe deeply and we just feel this beautiful circulation of the breath moving up and down the spine. This is where the chakra energy lies. This is where the Kundalini energy is. Yogananda stated that the pathway, the way to God, is through the spine. Grateful for the breath, your body, your mind. This beautiful opportunity that we are going to be sharing tonight, experiencing preparation and yogic techniques, sleep like a yogi for restful sleep, as a community and with group consciousness. Let's inhale to begin. Om. Holding the breath, squeeze the energy up the spine. Exhale. Be aware that we have now released our Kundalini energy from behind the 4th vertebrae. It's spiraling up, bringing all the chakra energy online. We'll connect all this internal energy through the connector of the halo, the arc line, to the auric field. The halo, or the bubble of energy, this EMF that surrounds you. And let's expand this field with the light of truth. Adigude Name, Jugadigude Name, Satigude Name, Siddhigurude Name, Adigude Name, Jugadagade Name, Satagade Name, Siddhigurade Name, Adigade Name, Jugadagade Name, Satagade Name, Siddhigurade Name. Inhale. Holding your breath, expand your light, clear, bright, and radiant all directions, all around you. Merge our lights together. Let's beam to infinity and beyond. And exhale. And grateful for our ancestors, our guides, our angels, always present and always with us. Satnam.
Salam.
So maybe it seems a bit contrary to you, but one of the best things you can do before getting ready, as you begin your process of getting ready to go to bed, is to create movement. So we're going to give you a very specific, systematic flow of movements that we recommend for you to do to get ready to start your journey of getting ready to go to bed. It's like, if your mother's in the room or parents in the room, okay, it's time to get ready for bed. How many times have we said that? And then it's a whole process. You've got all the rituals. I need my book. I need this. I need that, right? Who's had kids that has had that experience? Anybody? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Nobody else in the room has kids? Oh my gosh, Vaughn, you and I have to talk. It's unbelievable. All right, so we're going to start with doing some spinal flexing. And we're going to begin actually with doing it on all fours, which is known as cat-cow. So you'll come into an all-four position. And these are just very gentle sequencing of movements. And we're just going to nicely flow. You can mix them up a little bit if you like, but this cat-cow is an amazing exercise to do when you get up in the morning and when you're getting ready for bed. I can't recommend it enough. Spread your fingers out wide. Put your hands underneath the shoulders, shoulder width apart. Knees are hip width. And then we have our heels touching and the tops of the feet pressing on the floor. So we create a nice alignment for us to move the spine up and down between these 4 points. Let's exhale and arch the back up, letting the head drop. Pull the navel up to the spine. And then inhale, arching the spine down, and lifting the head up. And our eyes are closed the whole time. Big inhale here. Exhale opposite. Breathe all the breath out as you let the head drop. Arch the spine up. Inhale again. Arching the spine down. The head lifts. Now we're getting a nice smooth rhythm. And keep going. We just want to move the spine in this easy does it, rhythmic way to loosen up any tension that you may have accumulated for the day. We're starting to really activate the relaxation of the central nervous system because we're soothing the spine as we're moving it up and down in this motion. Perhaps as you're starting your day, you want to do a little bit more of a vigorous movement. But at night, we want to just, kind of start out slow and easy and just make a nice, smooth rhythm. Just think of it as smoothing your day out. And all this movement of the up and down with the spine, the head goes up and down. You're using your breath as the guide. And it really connects you with how the breath is flowing. And you want to breathe in and out through your nose. If you're really, really congested, just do your best. So we do this it's recommended to do cat-cow for about 3 minutes. You can do less time than that. You can do a little more time than that if you feel like, oh man, I just want to keep doing this. This feels so good. This is a beauty exercise. It really puts a nice flush to the face, sparkle in the eye. It stimulates your thyroid, which is an important gland for your endocrine and your immune system. And as we talked about, it's so good for the central nervous system and the overall spinal flexibility, which is a healthy spine. A healthy spine is a flexible spine. A flexible spine is a healthy spine. So keep going. We've probably got about another 45 seconds to go. Couple more. Now really deepen the breath, these last few. Just let the breath become even deeper. You don't necessarily have to speed up, but you just feel a little bit more strength and a little bit more oomph in the movement with the breath deepening. Nice. Now inhale and the head lifts. And I want you to hold the breath and just gently squeeze the spine and press the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Jaws relaxed. Now exhale and arch the spine up, drop the head, really pressurize around the throat gently and breathe all the breath out and press the tongue again and hold the breath out for about 5 seconds. Nice. Now inhale to center and then exhale. You can just relax. So relaxing can be you're just going to put your forehead on the ground and come into baby pose, or you can just sit up and stretch the legs out. It can be whatever intuitively feels right for you. Baby pose, okay, everybody went into baby pose. Nice. So in baby pose, this is a great opportunity to just feel yourself breathe. Hear yourself breathe, feel yourself breathe, and now open the knees a little wider and really relax the low back even more, as well as your hips. Okay, so just let this posture be a relaxation of that part of the body. Now, maybe you'd like to set an intention of your day. Like, wow, thank you for such a beautiful day. It's like an attitude of gratitude now. Thank you for this amazing experience of today. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for that challenge that I experienced in the grocery store parking lot. You know, whatever, right? Are you laughing, Sarah? Did you have one of those today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have picked up on that. Thank you. Whatever. Everything is like, you know, an opportunity to grow. And we even have practices where it's recommended to sleep like this. Nice. Now slowly sit up and let's stretch the legs out. Okay. You want to lead them through life room stretch, Dave? Just stretching forward with both legs? Or you want me to keep going?
Go for it.
Okay. So we're going to have our legs stretched out. And you can have the legs either together or a little bit distant apart, hip width apart. If you've got a really tight low back, which I don't necessarily have a tight low back anymore, but I do have very tight hamstrings. So I'm just going to let my legs be a little bit apart, yeah? And then stretching the arms out. And I've got a micro bend in the knee. The knee is not locked, so I'm flexing my feet slightly. And then I'm exhaling forward. And when I'm exhaling forward and I'm reaching for my toes, I'm not hunching my shoulders up. I'm relaxing. And I'm leading with my heart. So in this leading with the heart, and my gaze is moving between my feet. It's moving in that direction because I want my head and neck to be in alignment with the rest of my spine. So I'm not kinking my head up, looking ahead. I'm looking down slightly and a little bit forward. And then I'm just going to melt here. So when I come into my alignment, that feels like, okay, a bit of a challenge on the hamstrings. But the rest of the body is pretty darn relaxed and softening. Then I'm closing the eyes and breathing and just melting. And the main place to relax and melt is the shoulders. Just let those arms and shoulders relax and keep melting. And breathe very deeply. You want to breathe deeply so you feel your stomach, your tummy, expanding and contracting. So when you're breathing in, your tummy and your diaphragm is expanding outward. And then when you exhale, it's gently contracting and pulling slightly in. So pay attention to that movement, connecting it to the breath. Often people reverse breathe. When they breathe in, their tummy goes in. And when they breathe out, their tummy goes out. And it's actually a healthier way to breathe the way I described, which is breathing in, the belly expands outward, diaphragm expands outward. When you breathe in, when you exhale rather, you breathe out, it contracts. It moves inward. The diaphragm moves up. So we're just going to hang here for about another minute or two. Again, we're just softening. We're just letting go. This is a surrender posture. It stretches the whole spine. If you have serious issues with your back, you do want to open the legs a little bit wider and not go very far forward in a forward bend. Yeah? So like serious issues meaning compressed disc, things of that nature. Just want to take it easy with forward bends if that's the case. But breath is always key to everything. So breathe, breathe, breathe. And relax the shoulders. Rosie, relax the shoulders. Yes, that's it. Nice. You don't have to go very far forward in this posture at all. It's not a contest. It's just a matter of surrendering. Nice, and then slowly releasing your hands on the legs and let the arms float up and bring the whole body up as you stretch up. And then exhale, relax down. Good. Now we'll sit in an easy posture and we'll just start to move the spine a little bit more. So we'll bring our hands up to the shoulders, fingers in the front, thumbs in the back. And we'll gently twist to the left with a big inhale, and then we'll gently twist to the right with a big exhale. Again, this is another unwinding posture. This is another unwind movement. The cat-cow's unwinding. Everything that we're doing at this time of the day is to unwind and integrate our day. It's an integration of the day. So you're not going to bed with a bunch of unresolved cray-cray happening in your mind. This is all the time to just let it go. Let it go. And you may want to, when you set up your space, I do recommend that you do this practice getting ready for bed. You do it in your bedroom. I recommend that. You have your journal maybe right next to you so that when you're done with this, maybe you want to do a little journaling, which is always a great thing to do for getting ready to go to sleep. Maybe you have your really very helpful book that you've been reading to get some more insight on things, inspiration, etc. So again, we're breathing, conscious of the breath flowing on the inhale to the left and on the exhale to the right. And the shoulders are relaxed, and we're working now around the thoracic spine, around the heart and the lungs. So we're cleansing the lungs. The emotion that the lungs carry, if it's a heavy emotion, it's grief. So if we've had kind of a tough day or we were just dealing with sadness and grief, this is a great way to help you process it. It's important to feel all this stuff. We don't want to just be unmindful and robotic. We want to feel, but we don't want to be swamped and overwhelmed with our feelings either. So it's a balance. And this prep for sleep is a very great way to help you manage all of that. Okay, now come to the center and take a deep breath in. Hold the posture. Keep your hands on your shoulders. Now squeeze the lower lock. So that means you're going to squeeze your rectum, lift your sex organs, pelvic floor, and navel moves in and up. And then just relax and relax everything down. Let your hands just rest on the lap, in the lap, on your knees, whatever you like. And we'll just do some gentle shoulder shrugs. So inhale, shrugging the shoulders up, and exhale, let them drop. You're just going to move the shoulders up and down again with the breath. So you may notice now that we're moving systematically from the lower part of the body, moving the relaxation process upward. This is a nice directional flow. Moving from the head down is okay. Often when we're lying down in relaxation, maybe we direct the relaxation that way. But to unwind, I feel it's better to unwind from the base up. You know, keep going. It's a toroidal energy. So even as you're unwinding and consciously unwinding upward, the energy is releasing out the crown of the head and just flowing down alongside of you in like a donut type flow and a fountain. And then it enters again through the base of the spine. It comes up again, but it's a little bit more clear. It's a little bit more vibrant. It's a little bit more energized with life force, which is a great way to go to sleep. Clear, clean, bright. Yeah. Okay, and then relaxing that movement and just start to roll the head. Just gently rolling the head. Go the other way. Now it's really important, as Dave mentioned, as Onkar mentioned, that we're well hydrated before we get ready to go to bed. So I do recommend that you have a tumbler of water next to you as you're doing this practice. And when we're done with this next roll, you're going to drink some water. And if you need to get up and get a cup of water, we have the machine behind us there where you can fill your cup with water from the tall spigot, but you need to drink some water, please. Yeah. Good. Yeah, get a big glass of water. You want to be very well hydrated, and if that means that you get up a couple times in the middle of the night to pee, whatever, it's not a big deal. You just get up and go pee, do your bio break, and get right back in the bed. Believe me, you'll go right back to sleep. It's pretty incredible. Once you get into this training mode, no problem. But you'll sleep much more effectively being well hydrated. Good. So we have a couple more movements on our list, but we're going to save those for the next time. We'll add those in. So right now, I want us to go into some breath work. So Onkar is going to go into teaching us about left nostril breathing and the Satali breath. And then I'm going to show you a breath technique that we would do to prep for Yoga Nidra, and then we're going to lie down and do Yoga Nidra. How's that sound? Yeah?
And then next week we'll introduce the Shabad Kriya,
Yes.
which is kind of like the gold standard of pranayama before bed.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a really, really precise breath in 22 beats.
Yep.
And so it takes a lot of concentration, which keeps our mind anchored. And it's a pattern that, when you practice it enough, is really optimized to induce sleep. So we'll save that for next time.
It starts to flow into your lifestyle too, big time.
So the first breath work we're going to do is left nostril breathing. And this one is recommended for sleep prep. You can do it sitting, or you can also do it when you're lying down in bed. And even if you just lie in bed on your right side for just a couple minutes while you're falling asleep, and whether you're sitting up or lying down, what you're going to take your right hand and you're going to use your right thumb to block your right nostril. And the 5 fingers are pointed right up to the ceiling, almost like these fingers are like antenna going straight up, and they're plucking some radio signal out of the sky. So they're straight up here, and we're going to have our eyes closed. The left hand is in Gyan Mudra on the left knee here. And we're going to take long, slow inhales through the left nostril and long, slow exhales through the left nostril only. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. So let's start together. Let's take a big, long, slow inhale through the left nostril. Have a gentle hold at the top just to create a little bit of pressure. And you want to create a little bit of pressure so that when you exhale, it's like a long, soothing ah sound. And when we exhale, that's when we really get the relaxation response. So it's a nice, long, slow, full inhale. A gentle hold just to create a little bit of pressure. And then a long, relaxing, soothing exhale. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. Nice long 10 to 15 second inhale, gentle hold, long, slow, relaxing, soothing exhale, and just continue in that pattern. Feel yourself relaxing a little deeper with every exhale. Start to feel the heart rate coming down. We're breathing 3 to 5 times a minute here. This is starting to slow down the nervous system. Blood pressure comes down, cortisol levels come down, heart rate comes down. So we're using the breath to guide the body into a deeper state of relaxation. About 1 more minute here. You've got time for about 3 or 4 more of these breaths. Make them deep and slow and soothing. After your next exhale, slowly with your eyes closed, bring your hand down to your knee and just return to a normal breathing, eyes closed, and just notice here for a minute. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. The next one we're going to do is called Sitali Pranayam. And this type of breathing, actually, you'll start to feel saliva being generated in your mouth because of the way we're breathing. And saliva is actually a direct indicator to the brain. And a lot of times when we take in substances into our mouth, like tobacco, for example, that's an instant signal. It's absorbed through saliva and goes to the brain. So this breathing induces like a cool sensation on the tongue, and it stimulates saliva, and it just helps to generate a parasympathetic response. So it's a little bit of a funny breathing technique if you haven't tried it before, but you're basically curling your tongue into a U. It's called the taco tongue. So it looks like this. Your tongue is out, and you're going to take a big inhale through the mouth over the curled tongue. You're going to hold for a second, again, build a little bit of pressure, and then it's a long, slow exhale through the nose. And again, that exhale is when we feel the relaxation from the breath. And we do this very specifically 26 times. So I'll start you off with the first 2, and then you're on your own to count. Typically you can use malas to count, or you can just count on your own. We'll go through 26, and then we'll go into the next technique. So the hands are in Gyan Mudra on the knees, or you can have the right hand in the left and just sitting in the lap, whatever you're more comfortable with. Extend tongue out. Let's take a long, slow inhale through curled tongue. Gentle hold. Long, slow exhale through the nose. Continue on your own. We'll be here for 25 more repetitions. The inhale should be a cooling sensation on the tongue, generating a little saliva in each time. A few more here. After your next exhale, just return to normal meditative breathing, eyes closed, and just notice any sensations. Take a few long, deep breaths here. We're going to end with the Unikriya. And Mandeep, take us through it.
Yeah, so this is a technique that we're going to do to very specifically prepare ourselves for Yoga Nidra. All right. So you're going to take your sides of the thumbs, but the tops of the sides of the thumb, like here. So not here, but here. And then you're going to touch the little fingertips together. That's the only part of the hands that will touch. You're going to place this mudra open so the thumbs are pointing up and the fingers are directed away from you. This is the cave position of the uni. So we're going to close our eyes, but then barely open them and let the eyes slide down the tip of the nose, and you're going to barely see this position, this mudra of the hands beneath the nose. All right? It's very vague, subtle, indistinct, but you're going to definitely be aware of it. Now breathe in through your nose and breathe out through the mouth. And then breathe in through the mouth. And breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. And exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the nose. Now relax the hands down. Just let them rest, palms down on the knees. Close the eyes completely down. Breathe a few moments of breath in and out through your nose. Good. And then blinking the eyes open, but stay very, very relaxed and in this space that you've created with that breath. It's almost like a dream-like state. Lie down on your right side so your left side is up. And let's do a little bit more left nostril breathing. Get your pillows ready. You're going to be putting the bolster as you're going to turn over on your back. You're going to put the bolster behind the knees. So have the bolster ready. There's a little strap on one end of the bolster. So have it close to you so when you roll over on your side, you can just gently pull the bolster towards you underneath the knees. So we can just grab it, yeah. And then you will have, as you're laying on your right side, you want to have the pillow underneath your head. We're going to start to prepare for Yoga Nidra. Initially coming into right side. This is called the Sleeping Buddha posture. In this flyer that we made for this class, I'm laying on a dock in Mexico in this posture. My husband was taking the picture for me. And it was just so relaxing and so surreal and serene, just being in that posture, in that environment. But you can, every time I come into that posture, I recreate that moment for myself. It was super early in the morning. It was sunrise. It was very quiet, very peaceful. So just come into that space for yourself. Just be aware of the left side of the body, which is your feminine side, the moon side. It's very receptive, it's cooling, it's calming, it's quieting. And on the right side, it's your sun energy. So you're putting your sun to bed. You're allowing the moon energy to come forward. Just take a few breaths here, and then when you're ready, take your time and roll onto your back. Now, if you want, you can stay on your side the whole time. It doesn't matter, but I'm just going to give you the option to roll onto your back now. Put the bolster behind the knees. Start to cover yourself with the blankets. And just get ready for your Yoga Nidra practice fully now. It's the practice of deep yogic sleep with trace awareness. This is a beautiful practice. This particular script is to align with the felt sense of unconditional love and allow it to spill over into everything you do. Getting ready to practice connecting with the heart. Doing anything you need to do to get as comfortable as possible. Just settle in. Letting go of anything you think you need to do. There is nothing to do right now. Just shifting from doing to being. Legs are relaxed. Feet are relaxed. Arms are relaxed. Shoulders are away from the ears. Neck is lengthened and relaxed. Once more, just check for any lumps, bumps, clothing, jewelry, anything else that might distract you from your Yoga Nidra practice. Just adjust them now, if you find any. Scan your whole body, making sure you're as comfortable as can be. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let go. Let go of any thoughts, any need to do, just being. This is your time for yourself. Nothing to accomplish. No to-do list, no striving, just simply enjoying peace. Final adjustments now. Begin to feel stillness. Know that you can move, but relish the sweetness of this stillness. This simple being. So simple. So free. Everything is here for you in this stillness. Receiving these words effortlessly, with effortless awareness. No need for concentration or thinking. Let the mind rest. Be aware with your heart. Yoga Nidra has now begun. Now is the time to state a heartfelt resolve, which is the sankalpa, the basis of a Yoga Nidra practice, the foundation. If you already have a sankalpa, heartfelt resolve, allow the joyful feeling of it to arise now. If you don't have a sankalpa, simply allow an I am statement fills you with joy to arise. For example, I am calm, I am healthy, or I am free. Whatever stirs your heart. No need for thinking, just feeling. So finishing this statement, I am. Did anything spontaneously come to mind and fill your heart? Don't overthink it. Just go with that. That's your perfect next step forward. Nothing came to mind, you can use I am calm, I am healthy, or I am free. Really feel your sankalpa. Picture it as vividly as you can. If the feeling is there, it can't help but be manifested. So state your sankalpa now 3 times with clarity and feeling. now taking a trip to energy points accessed throughout the body. Noticing sensations, energies, visions that may arise, but remaining free from them, simply traveling on carefree. There's nothing you're looking for, no goal, just being. Your mind is quiet, your heart is aware. Start by bringing awareness to the point between the eyebrows. Effortless awareness of the point between the eyebrows. Hollow of the throat, right shoulder joint, elbow joint, wrist joint, right thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger, effortless awareness, the right wrist joint, elbow joint, shoulder joint, hollow of the throat, over to the left shoulder joint, elbow joint, wrist joint, left thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger, left wrist joint, elbow joint, shoulder joint, hollow of the throat, heart center, right side of the chest, heart center, left side of the chest, the heart center, the heart center, the heart center. Fix awareness at the heart center, effortlessly, without thinking, just feeling. Notice your chest filling with each breath, filling with oxygen to vitalize all of your body. Energetically, you're pulling in vital life force known as prana. This is the key to your vitality. With each deep breath in, your body receives more of this life force that it needs. With each deep breath in, your body is fed the energy it needs and silently sighs with relief. Take a deep breath in and hold until your body naturally wants to let go. And then exhale. There's no need to force. Find the easy, relaxed rhythm that feels just right. Inhale, filling with oxygen, with prana, energy, holding as the energy is received and dispersed, and exhaling the silent sigh of relief. Simply continue breathing this way. Deep, relaxed, inhale, soft holding, long, effortless exhale. Inhaling prana, energy, retaining gently, letting go of any effort as you exhale. Now once more, inhale, softly hold, effortless exhale. Now bring awareness back to your heart center. Picture at your heart center a beautiful, glowing light in your favorite color. There is love in this light. For a moment, you see a vision of unconditional love in the light. A person, a pet, a beautiful place, a divine image, strikes the chord of unconditional love in your heart. Image of unconditional love at the heart center, illuminated by the glowing light. Hold the awareness. Allow it to fill your heart center with the feeling of unconditional love. As the feeling grows, the light glows brighter, pulsing. And now allow the image to dissolve, but hold the feeling of it. Hold this feeling of love. Feel that the loving light can no longer be contained just in the heart center. It's expanding out, and as it expands, the love light is pulsing and radiating. Feel it expand and flow out beyond your heart center, overflowing, flowing out throughout your entire body, your whole body, down through the arms to the fingertips, down through the legs to the toes. Love light radiating out even beyond the body, spilling over, creating a field of loving light all around you. You are surrounded by loving light, bright, warm, comforting, alive. While you're settled here in this deep, peaceful state of love, allow your sankalpa, your heart's desire, to arise again. Allow the feeling of your sankalpa to arise. Repeat your sankalpa mentally with full feeling and awareness 3 times now. Feel that the sankalpa has again been planted like a seed in this deep part of your being, where seed thoughts begin to grow into beautiful realities. Feel the beauty of your sankalpa, your heart's desire, growing from deep within you, blossoming at your heart center like a radiant flower. Your soul will manifest anything you tell it to. This is how your soul shows you its unconditional love, just for you. You are always held by your soul's unconditional love for you. You are always held by your soul's unconditional love for you. You are always held by your soul's unconditional love for you. Feel that love at your heart center. Rest now in the unconditional love, peace, and deep comfort moments. Has wandered, bring your awareness back to your heart center. Just notice the heart swelling as you inhale and releasing as you exhale. Notice the chest, your chest, rising on inhalation and falling on exhalation. Bring awareness back to your body. Yoga Nidra is now complete. Start to introduce more movement in your body by taking a few long, deep breaths. Hold the sensation of your overflowing heart as you bring awareness back to the body. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Feel the lightness of the sensation. Now start to stretch and move your body any way you like. Feel the sensation of love at the heart center continue to evenly flow out and disperse to all parts of your body as you stretch. And then once more, roll to the right side. And if you were going to be in bed doing this practice, you would just go to sleep now. You're ready.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but we're here in the studio. You can spend the night if you like, but we've done that before. But we're not doing that tonight. But isn't this lovely? So now before, though, we get up and we really start to bring our awareness externalized, I want you to invite your sankalpa in one more time. I want you to invite it in one more time. Just fully connect with it at your heart center. Just connect with that feeling, that resonance, that vibration, that truth, that knowing. And just with gratitude, thank you. It's already there. It's manifested. It is. So it's just a simple thank you, and so it is. And then when you're ready, just gently push up with your arms, keeping the eyes closed. Take some nice deep breaths as you sit up. And then when you're ready, please blink your eyes open and drink some more water. Yeah, water is such an important part of your ritual for going to bed. For me, I know Onkar mentioned shower. For me, it's bath. It's getting in the bath. Oh my gosh, it is like my thing. It's my jam to get ready for bed. I do a whole thing with my bath. I know I've talked about this many, many times. We have these incredible bath salts from Mike's Recovery that are divine. We have an amazing sleep oil that I discovered from a little herb shop in Tucson. So I massage my feet with this sleep oil, and I have all kinds of stuff in my bath. I put crystals in my bath. I dim the lights. I insist that my husband turns off the television in the bedroom. He always gets mad at me.
No football?
No. He can go watch football in the den. Go away. No. That's a non-negotiable.
But
So-
I think
yeah.
this state that our nervous system is in right now.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
This is how we want to
This is what we
prepare to
want.
get into bed. And
Yeah.
like we talked about at the beginning, there's actually lots of different things you can do to start
Mm-hmm.
getting to this state. And think about the difference between just kind of like going straight from a busy day to home and then into bed versus
Yeah.
like taking the time to get the nervous system here.
It's an integration.
And now that we have the nervous system here, when you leave, just be mindful of anything that can overstimulate. So that could be excessive light, excessive noise, anything that you can think of, just to stay as close to this state as possible until you can just kind of crawl into bed.
Yeah, and if you're traveling, take time and do just some breathing. Maybe a little journaling, and just give yourself that integration of preparing to lie down and do a little movement, a little breathing, and then get into bed, right? Adjust the temperature and the lighting of the room, no matter where you are. How do you feel?
Good.
Do you think that you can just go and drive right now? No. Really? You feel like you could drive a car right now?
No.
Okay, thank you, because I know you can't. Let's be smart. Let's be smart and realistic. So yeah, so this is what Dave was talking, what Onkar was speaking of, is that we put ourselves in this very deep, what is this, delta wave?
I think that would be the right way to explain it. When we're busy doing work, that's more
Alpha. That's right. No, beta.
Help me out, Renee.
Alpha and beta.
It's
Yeah.
alpha and beta. Yeah.
It's felt like delta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it did feel like delta, right? So alpha and beta is where we're up here. We're very cognizant, we're functional, everything's multitasking, we're all firing on all pistons. We're still firing on all pistons in delta. But it's just in a much deeper, it's a different firing. It's a different rhythm, very different rhythm for sure.
It takes about 15 minutes to get into this state. If you ever notice
Yeah.
when you just sit and meditate, the first 15 minutes, for me at least, are kind of a wash. And then right around that 12 to 15 minute mark, you just kind of feel everything gear down.
It clicks
So
in.
it doesn't happen right away. It takes a little bit of work to at least get the about 15 minutes of breath work to start shifting the brain waves from like busy brain to more of a relaxed state.
And that's the whole key to this class and teaching you, is that it's about training the brain, training the mind, because then your body goes right into the jam of it. It just goes right into the flow. Because the body will follow the mind, and the mind will follow the breath. It's the tried and true formula since the dawn of time. The yogis knew about this for forever ago. Of course, they didn't, well, who knows, with Atlantis and all that fun stuff. They had technology then. But you know what I'm saying. So we invite you to hang out, have some tea. We always serve yogi tea after we do these deep practices. It's really important to bring yourself back up to at least a beta state, at least to that state, before you go drive your car or get on the crazy deuce bus or whatever it is that you're doing. Christine. So, it's just, let's be smart about this. So give yourself time to drink some yogi tea, which is warm and spicy, so it's got a little bit of a stimulant, although there's no caffeine in it, because we don't want you having any caffeine now. And have some fruit if you want. You can have a little something, that's fine. Or not, it's up to you. But let's tune out, right?
Do you want to use the long time sun or just one Satnam?
Let's just do one long Satnam.
All right.
Go for it.
All right, just come into a comfortable position. Bring the hands into prayer position at the heart center. We're going to end with one long Satnam, so let's take a big inhale. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Satnam.
Satnam.